you want to know that. All right. Bye, Tim. Take care.
Oh, I'll take a small one. Thanks, Tim.
Bye, Tim.
That's okay. Yeah. If I did, you don't need it.
Give you 850.
Uh-oh, that's scary. Yeah. Yeah, see, right.
Help you with that.
I guess that's just seems one room. Just assume that.
Get one. Get, and they'll help you. Okay, call John first. He'll let you know how to order from. It's changed. Then Is Karen, is Jill not coming tonight? Jill? Have you heard from her?
I haven't heard from her.
I haven't either.
So I don't know.
But Orly, will you vote for me?
Yes. Twice.
Yeah, 3 times in favor.
Vote early, vote on?
Still in there?
You know, I'm 64 Orly.
Sue's still in there?
I just hear
You'll be doing that. You do a lot more than
I am twice in one night. This is what blessed looks like. Okay? Just, and you're the
I saw something on the internet today about being able to just walk away from something and move on.
I think.
Nice and calm, right?
Come on, Karen, let's go.
This training is good.
So did you hear from Jill?
I did, you know what, she texted me during Satellite thing, she said she just woke up and she's feeling really ill. And she could not make it. And I did not tell that.
So when is school out?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't have to see it.
Sue will be here shortly. We can't start until all the council members that are here are here.
In council, I do want to mention to you, I received a text from Jill Carlson in that presentation, and she said that she had just woken up, that she feels really ill and she couldn't make it this evening. So, yeah, so that's
I kept looking for her.
I was thinking, yeah, when I was going around the horn, I'm like, well, that's 6. I'm like, where's Jill?
Where's the other one?
Where are these people?
Right.
That's cool.
20.
So good meeting on the contract stuff?
It was, I had to leave a little early, I had all those great things.
I just.
Yeah, I thought it was good.
Anything to say?
What are you doing? He's rolling in his chair.
Oh,
That's bad.
it's good looking out there, thanks.
Looks like white chocolate.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely haven't taken on enough calories out.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that we would do that.
Well, I'll tell you, my caloric intake at the last place was pretty limited.
Who's inside?
Those are all things. Those 3.
I think they had beer on the porch too.
That's fine. In the back.
I told them to give me
It always seems like you're waiting
an off break
for a
up.
long
And I was like,
time.
what did you just go on? Have me come back and finish up after.
Actually, it gives you a minute to just sit and take a breath.
Just scheduled to late. Yeah,
Are you about moving down? Are you all about moving?
Apparently yours worked.
Oh, they did?
Or did you go?
Yeah. Yeah, well, I was there earlier. I went for some reason. Yeah. So they made a, like you, Diane.
That is true.
We got that at my house. It's pretty neat.
Yeah, wear a sweater.
Yeah, it's late.
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah.
First world problems, right?
Yes, it's those kinds of things sometimes that they contributed last year. Don't sit down. I'd like to call this council meeting to order. If you would please stand with me and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. The first item is the consent agenda. The listing under the consent agenda is a group of items to be acted upon with a single motion or vote. This agenda is designed to expedite the handling of limited routine matters by council. I will ask if a citizen or a council member wishes to have any specific item removed from the consent agenda for discussion, and at that time, either the public or a council member may request that an item be removed prior to the council's vote. The items on tonight's consent agenda are approval of the work session and regular meeting minutes of April the 24th, 2018, approval of the expenditures vouchers for May the 8th, 2018, approval of a renewal hotel and restaurant liquor license for Thai Cortez, approval of a renewal 3.2% beer retail liquor license for Maverick, 497, that's the one on the east side of town, approval of a special events permit for the Cortez Chamber of Commerce for business after hours on Thursday, May the 10th at Major Mortgage, which is located at 106 North Sligo here in Cortez. So, is there anybody in the audience or on council that would like to pull any of those items?
I don't have anything. I have nothing.
All right, may I have a motion, please?
I'll make a motion to accept the consent agenda as presented with the expenditures, $16,905.13.
Second?
Zero.
Aye.
Aye.
Beth.
Aye.
Noise.
Aye.
Baby.
Aye.
Keith.
Aye. All right, presentations. National Healthcare Week proclamation. Are you here to talk about that? Okay. whether you are or not.
And so you guys know, we had some issue with our microphone being broken. I think the mayor broke it last night.
The mayor said she didn't break it.
We'll say it remains to be seen with our investigation. But either way, it is kind of just taped up there. So please talk, but don't touch.
My name is Haley Leonard Saunders. I'm the Marketing and Public Relations Director at Southwest Health System, and I want to introduce Tony Sedek. He is our interim CEO at Southwest Health System. First of all, we want to thank you all for having us this evening for City Council, but also for National Healthcare Week. This is traditionally called National Hospital Week, but as you know, we are running a system. We have 450 employees, 12 independent clinic operations, and a critical access hospital, as well as many other services that are running under one roof. So for us, it's not necessarily just a hospital that we're focused on, it's healthcare in general. So we wanted to ask, and it's also Nurses Week, we like to put all of it together at once, but we really do appreciate all the support that the council and the community has given us over the last couple of years of our building projects and all of the change that we're putting you through and trying to have you figure out which clinic to get to and how to navigate the system. So in light of all of us looking forward to what these new facilities bring and the hard work of all of our team members that bring care every day, we ask that you support proclaiming it National Healthcare Week in Cortez from May 6th to 12th of 2018.
Do we have to vote for this? We don't have to vote for this, do we? I didn't think so. So, the proclamation for National Healthcare Week, May the 6th through the 12th. Whereas National Healthcare Week is May the 6th through the 12th, and the official theme is Caring is Our Calling. And whereas individuals all across the country will be celebrating this time-honored event, and whereas the hardworking people that compose our healthcare system deserve universal regard and appreciation for keeping our community healthy, now, therefore, be it resolved, I, Karen W. Sheik, Mayor of Cortez, Colorado, do hereby proclaim May the 6th through the 12th, 2018 as National Healthcare Week with the official theme, Caring is Our Calling. And I urge residents to express their appreciation for the people, facilities, and technologies that make trustworthy, reliable healthcare possible in our community. So,
thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate you guys. Thanks. Does that mean we get a free checkup?
Thank you so much.
That was a good answer.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you. Good to meet you.
What's Tony's last name? I guess she told you.
Hello. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for coming. Thank you. Now, is the hospital going to have an open house pretty soon so we can all come and wander around and look and see?
Yes, we will set a date before the lobby won't open until probably the end of August. And by the time we get to the lobby, we'll learn innovations and innovations we can't do that. So we will do most likely a Saturday or Sunday morning.
Okay.
And see the office building and see an invitation.
Good.
I'll keep you posted.
Okay. All righty. Thanks, Haley.
Thank you very much.
Historic Preservation Day proclamation. Would you care to say a few words, or you just want me to read the proclamation?
I'm Linda Toll. I'm now the Vice Chairman of the Historic Preservation Board. This is the 9th year that we are sponsoring Historic Preservation Day. This is National Historic Preservation Month. May is also Colorado Historic Preservation Month. And so we, 9 years ago, chose the third Saturday in May for our local day. It's become a very popular day. It's now Public Lands Day in Colorado, so there's lots going on that Saturday. This year we will be doing walking tours of historic Main Street. Patricia Lacey, the chairman of our board, will be giving these tours. This is a culmination of work from the past and also the last 2 grants where we inventoried the north and south sides of Main Street with the certified local government money. The tours will begin at the Cortez Cultural Center on Saturday the 19th. There will be tours at 10:30, 12:30, and 2:30. And we would appreciate it if people would call the Cultural Center and sign up for one of those tours so that we're not overwhelmed. In the past, our historic walking tours have been popular, and we've had an average of like 40 people. So that's pretty good for our city. Any questions?
Great.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, the proclamation for Historic Preservation Day. Whereas May is National Historic Preservation Month, And whereas walking tours of Cortez historic buildings will be given the day of Saturday, May the 19th, and a women's history program will be presented in the evening at the Cortez Cultural Center. Whereas these events are sponsored by the Cortez Historic Preservation Board, the Cortez Cultural Center, and Cortez Retail Enhancement Association. And whereas the City of Cortez recognizes the importance of keeping the history of Cortez and the surrounding area alive through education and cultural opportunities. Therefore, I, Karen Cheek, Mayor of the City of Cortez, proclaim May the 19th, 2018 as Historic Preservation Day. And I do hereby urge the citizens of this community to recognize and support opportunities to learn more about the history of our community through various events that will be held that day. So, well, thank you. Take this back and share it with your board. Okay. Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, at this time, is there any citizen in the audience that would like to address the council? Okay. We have no public hearings. We have no unfinished business. New business, letter of comment from Essential Air Service to the U.S. Department of Transportation. Russ.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, and honorable city council members. It's that time of the 2-year period where we go through the Essential Air Service selection process again. Our current contract with Boutique ends September 30th of this year, and preempted to that, the Department of Transportation let bids in March for a 30-day period, and they opened bids April 6th, and there was only one bidder, Boutique Airlines once again. And they bid the same service that they're providing now, 3 round trips daily to Denver and 1 round trip daily to Phoenix. We did have a public forum to ascertain the public's feelings on Boutique's performance over the 1.5 years they have been here. We held that last night right here in this room when the mayor broke the microphone.
Thank you, Russ. I appreciate it.
I'm just trying to support
That's
Shane.
called an eyewitness right there.
Yeah.
So Sean Simpson, the CEO of Boutique, was here along with one of his administrators, and he acknowledged in his opening remarks that there had been some disappointing reliability issues, disappointing from his vantage point, and of course the community's. And he has already put forth some remedies to take care of those. Fueling issues in Denver seem to have been somewhat resolved, and the pace for fueling aircraft quickened. They've had some repairs done on a de-icing mechanism for the aircraft, and let's see, there was one more. And he purchased 3 additional aircraft so that when one is on the shelf for mechanical issues, he's got some aircraft to pull in from the bullpen and get on the game. So we then went to a question, answer, and comment period to the public. On the whole, they were positive. We had several folks thank Boutique Airlines for providing the service they had. One person acknowledged the fact that had we selected Great Lakes 2 years ago, we would not have air service today. So I think that was a very poignant point to make. There were some negatives. Again, the delays, which Sean had already mentioned earlier, and the pricing on a value pack had gone up 3-fold during the 18-month period, and I don't know that he was fully aware of that because he doesn't keep his finger on the pulse. He looked somewhat shocked and talked to me afterwards and said that he wasn't aware it had gone that high. So he's working on bringing that price down, and the top end of the tier pricing structure that he has, he's also going to bring that down. He wants to bring the entire average of the pricing structure for the 8 seats down to a more reasonable measure. He acknowledged that those last 2 seats are not being sold now anyway because we're averaging about 5 to 6 people per flight. So if people aren't going to buy them at that price, then he's going to bring them down to get a little more ridership on those last two seats. That pretty much, he did mention that he was going to expend more money in the area of outlying communities for advertising to see if we could pull in a bigger draw from those smaller, distant communities, because Cortez, to those particular communities in the four states region, is a closer airport than, say, Farmington or Durango. So back to the memo, the fiscal impacts they had in the last year and a half have been extremely positive. They've been buying a lot of fuel here. We set a record last year on airline fuel sales, so that was a boon to the fixed-base operator, Cortez Flying Service, and to the airport, because we get a percentage of the fuel sales. We also added additional revenue over what Great Lakes provided, because with 4 flights a day, we've got more additional landing fees, and because of the reliability of Great Lakes was subdued in their last year performance, we had more landings, period. So that was a boon as well. They've been making their payments on time. They've never been in arrears or past due, so that's also a plus. I've never had to make a call and say, hey, pay up. In the Great Lakes years, we did have that on a few occasions. So that is my presentation this evening. Are there any questions regarding the Essential Air Service program?
Russ, I have a question. Where Mr. Simpson expressed his interest in examining possible routes that could mesh with the current Cortez routes, does that mean that we would be on like one of several stops? Is that what he's
more than
referring
likely
to?
We would be the terminus of that.
Okay.
There's a possibility we might be in the middle, but from Cortez you would go more than likely directly to Denver from one of these newer communities that are added in. Okay. And then of course from Denver to Cortez folks would get off, and then it would go on to one of there's a couple, 3 communities in play. I don't want to mention them because they're not committed yet. Right. So
I'm just thinking from a logistical standpoint, one of the concerns by some of the citizens is their lack of timeliness, and this would obviously have to be worked fairly closely,
right,
in order to make sure that it is on time, given the fact that if we are now one of several stops.
Well, of the three communities he and I conversed about in my office, it seems that there would only be one of the 3 that would be a possibility. The other 2 would fall off the possible list.
Yeah. It sounds like he came with an open mind and heard what was going on.
He's doing everything he can outside of the ES program if resources make themselves available to provide extra service beyond the contract to get us to the 10,000 boardings. He knows that's important for us, and he's trying to make that work. Yeah. It won't happen this year, but perhaps in 2019.
Okay. Thanks, Russ.
You might mention, Russ, why the 10,000 boardings is important to us.
True. 10,000 boardings is a magic number because that entitles the Cortez Airport to a $1 million grant. We don't have to sit on a waiting list for discretionary funds, where it's to the discretion of the Denver Airport office whether or not our project is worthy. We won't be in competition with other airports for that money. We get the $1 million in the following federal fiscal year.
So Russ has agreed to stay on until we reach the 10,000 so that we get the $1 million and he gets to spend it.
Don't count on that. I did not commit to that.
If you would just fly 3 times a day, Russ, I think that would help our numbers out.
I didn't hear the beginning of your statement.
If you would fly 3 times a day, that could really help our numbers out.
Are you paying for the tickets?
No, I will not.
Well, and that is something that Russ didn't mention, but maybe another advantage is if outlying community is added to the route, if they're paid passengers out of Cortez to Destination X, that would actually help our employment numbers as well. So, I think that, if he's able, if Boutique is able to pull it off, it's just going to get us closer to that number. So, it's great.
And we had 7,800 plus last year, paid boarders. So we're still a long ways, but the last full year of operation with Great Lakes was 2,400 and change. So we've really made exceptional inroads towards 10,000.
You know, if they drop the prices a little bit and they advertise a little bit, they drop the prices some and they advertise a little bit more, which he seemed inclined to be willing to do.
I believe so.
You know, that should help.
Price speaks the loudest as far as boardings. When the prices raised in the middle of last summer, the boardings dropped demonstrably. And they've been climbing slowly since, but we're still behind last year at this date by about 15%. So we're climbing out of the hole, but even that hole was nowhere near as deep as the Great Lakes hole that was the last 2-3 years of their time here.
Well, even at their highest rate, though, they were still lower than Durango. And now that they have the agreement with United, so that there's just the carry-through and the luggage, I would think that would be a plus, too.
Right.
I wonder if everybody knows that as well.
And he's expanding their agreement with United, so within a few weeks, so we'll hear more about that.
Yeah. Okay. Does council have any other questions? All right, then may I have a motion?
Make a motion authorizing the mayor to sign the letter of public comment regarding boutique air to the U.S. Department of Transportation for the provision of essential air service to Cortez.
I'll second that. Noyes?
Aye.
Keel?
Aye.
Betts? Aye. Levy?
Aye.
Lucero?
Aye.
Keith?
Aye. Thank you, Russ.
Thanks, Russ.
Dean, the 2018 Park and Golf Course Equipment Bid.
Thanks. Good evening, Madam Mayor and City Council members. The Parks and Recreation Department solicited bids for a high-speed deep tine airification unit. The Parks and Golf Course maintenance divisions are limited on their timeframes to perform the airification services in-house with a maintenance schedule that fits our patrons' use of our park system and golf course. The pull-behind aerator that is being considered this evening can perform at over twice the speed of our current aerator. The bids were opened on Wednesday, February 14th, with 2 companies submitting bid proposals, the lowest bidder being C&M Golf and Grounds Equipment out of Commerce City, Colorado, with a bid of $23,976 for the Red Exum Charter House Verta Drain 2216 aerator. The second bidder was Pestio Brothers Equipment Incorporated out of Parker, Colorado, with a bid of $37,892 for the Wiedemann Terra Spike XF6 aerator. Both bids are under the budgeted amount of $39,000, which will be split between the Parks and Golf Course Maintenance Division's budgets. Due to the price discrepancy between the 2 aerator units and the fact that none of our Parks and Golf Course maintenance staff had seen or heard about the Riddim X Charter House Verta Drain aerator, the staff decided to have the 2 companies come to Cortez and have their equipment demonstrated side by side to get a comparison of each aerator's performance. After multiple communications with each company, a demonstration date was set for April 11th, 2018, and only one company, Pestio Brothers Equipment Incorporated, responded and confirmed they would be at the demonstration. So I think a great effort was made to contact both companies, and one of them only ended up willing to show up. The Pestio Brothers Equipment brought out the Wiedemann aerator with the demonstration, and it performed exceptionally well in a hard-packed area within Parque de Vida. Their aerator traveled at a speed of 2.8 miles per hour, placing 8-inch holes in the ground at 5-inch square pattern. At this speed, the process of aerating the city parks and golf course will be completed in less than half the time it takes for our current aerator to complete the job, which will allow park staff to perform the process on additional areas of the park than just the playing surfaces at our athletic fields. And I just want to mention, with having a faster aerator too for the golf course, You know, it takes almost a full week to get that done with the current aerator to do like the fairways, tee boxes, greens, and so it would really speed up that process as well. After extensive research and contacting other superintendents in the industry who have used both aerator units, the Wiedemann Terrace Spike XF6 aerator is a much better product and will better serve the needs of our department in terms of durability, speed, overall performance, and serviceability. Yeah, so we really tried to make an effort to have a demonstration by both providers, and they just weren't, the one company wasn't willing to come out with their product. So the next best step then, as I've read, is contacting the people in the industry that had used both products, and it was a clear-cut winner for going forward with the Wiedemann product. I think the other unit would, you know, it would do okay if we didn't have a current aerator. It'd be probably like 1 mile an hour, but we're really wanting one that's can do the job faster and still perform at a high level, and that's what the Wiedemann product will do. So that's why we would like to move forward with that product.
Any questions, council?
I don't have any. They just got more speed now.
What's your plans for the old aerator?
That's a good question, Councilman Noyes, is that we will still use that current aerator to do probably solid time aeration, so it'd take a solid time and just go down, you know, 4 to 6 inches. So we still, and like for example, at the golf course, that's what we do in the springtime, and then we come back in the fall to do a deep time core plugging, you know, taking up the cores, and so that would be used more with the new airification unit. So we still have use of the old airifier as well, and plus two, we may even have to where we can get both aerators going at once to complete the jobs faster.
Okay, I've got a couple of small questions. One of them is, where is this Wiedemann? Where do they come out of?
Councilman Betts, it comes out of, I mean, the Pestio brothers are based out of Parker, Colorado, where the other company, C&M Golf and Grounds, is based out of Commerce City. So they're both based out of Front Range communities.
Okay, are they going to be willing to say that this aerator breaks down right away? Are they willing to come down and warranty it, or what kind of a deal?
Yeah, they'll have the standard warranty on those. In fact, our current aerator is a Wiedemann, and then also too, we have, I believe, a Wiedemann sweeper verticutter. So we do have a couple already of those products by that company.
Okay.
Any other questions?
I have none.
Okay, may I have a motion, please?
Your Honor, I make a motion that we approve the bid for the Wiedemann Terrace Spike XF6 aerator to be used by the Parks and Golf Course Administration Division to the Potesto Brothers Equipment Incorporated for the bid of $37,892.
Second that.
Betts?
Aye.
Noyes?
Aye.
Lucero?
Aye.
Maybe?
Aye.
Keel?
Aye.
Sheet?
Aye. All right, ordinance number 1253, series 2018. Mike?
The city pretty much makes most of its income, if you will, on sales tax and charges and assessments or fees for services. And what we've run into as part of it was in the sales tax, there's been some rather big collections every year, every couple of years, where we filed liens on real estate, and for some reason, we're not getting paid out of the foreclosures. What we're trying to do here is to get our liens to be first on the list of liens on what you call an O&E, and that would be a better guarantee that we would get paid. And so that's why you have the new language changing it from a perpetual lien to a first and prior. The other change to the ordinance, I can't tell you why, but for some reason the word taxes was not included, and that's the word that's in the state statutes. And that's the one that would allow us to certify delinquent sales tax to the clerk, or not the clerk and recorder, the treasurer for collection as property taxes, like we do with some of our other assessments and fees that aren't paid. And that's a real efficient way to collect things because you pay a percentage, which we add on to the treasurer, and when she sends out the property tax bills, ours is added to their property tax. And so we've had good success getting money that way. So this is just some improvements on our ability to collect the money that's owed to the city.
And just by us saying we want to be first in line, that makes us first in line.
That's what we're working towards, the one now. I have to be honest with you, talking with a couple of the banks that did foreclosures, nobody seems to know what it does. It's sort of like it sits there, but they can't figure out a priority for it. But this, with the words first and prior, and again, those are the words in the state statute, and so that's why I think we'll go there. At least there's some history from the state to base our claims on. The perpetual lien, I can't figure out any law on that that tells me how to get us paid.
Any questions?
I have none.
May I have a motion, please?
Honorable Mayor, I recommend this ordinance for approval at first reading, setting same for second reading and public hearing by motion to approve ordinance number 1253, series 2018, at first reading and set same for public hearing on May 22nd, 2018.
Second.
Levy?
Aye.
Noyes?
Aye.
Keel?
Aye.
Lucero?
Aye.
Betts?
Aye.
Sheets?
Aye. We have no draft resolutions or ordinances. We have no other items of business. At this time, is there anybody in the audience that would like to address council? Seeing nobody step up to the plate, I'm sure they don't want to come because the mic's broken. I think it got broken before the meeting ever started. There is no city attorney's report. Mr. Hale.
Yes, Your Honor. Just a couple quick things. So a reminder to council and to the community. So this Saturday, May 12th, is our drop-off day at Parque de Vida. That'll be 8 to 3. So city and county residents can bring, their disposable items to dump there, and that'll be at Parque de Vida, like I said, and that is 8 to 3. May 14th kicks off our cleanup week, and so if you anybody who has anything that they can't get to the drop-off day, if they can just bring that to the front of their curb, our crews will pick it up on the same day that your trash is picked up, and so that's our schedule. And then on May 19th we have our cleanup day, and that'll start at 9 a.m. and the cleanup day again we'll meet up at Parque de Vida, assign people to different neighborhoods and areas of town, and just go and pick up all the beer bottles that are thrown on 7th Street or wherever your assigned is. And then I also want to remind council that next Tuesday, the 15th, we have an executive session scheduled for council to prioritize the city manager finalist selection. So that will be a special meeting. I think it's going to be 6 p.m. Next Tuesday, and we will provide fancy dinner such as Domino's Pizza or Chinese food. So
I want yellow carrot fare for this meeting, please.
I will, yeah, I'll see what I can do, Your Honor, but probably not yellow carrot.
Okay, and I'm assuming probably it's going to be 30 degrees, 30 miles per hour, and rain on the cleanup day?
The guaranteed on May 19th, I'm going to forecast right now for the public, and today is not the 19th, today is only May 8th. I'm going to forecast snow, rain, wind. It will not hit 33 degrees on any temperature gauge.
I can hardly wait.
Yeah, so it's, I would say to the farming community and ranchers, you're welcome that I brought in this rain event.
Okay. Is that all?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. City council reports. Are there any meetings anybody has gone to that they would like to report on?
Oh, I went to one this week, the Heritage Committee, and said that Janet Weath, who was instrumental in starting their organization in 1996, is quitting, and they are in the process of writing a letter, and they asked if, once they get it wrote, if they brought it in, if the mayor could sign the letter. And I said that I'd discuss it, but I didn't think that there was going to be a problem with it. So,
yeah, good.
And their day starts out, I guess, May the 19th, and as she was saying earlier when she was in here, they'll start the tours and stuff then.
Okay, and if you haven't ever gone on those, they do a nice job. So it's a nice little tour. All right, any other committees?
Golf Course Advisory Board met April 25th. To date, as of 4/25, revenue was looking at about $163,000, a little under what we were last year. It's kind of been a rough spring with the wind. Other business, our local girls golf tournament, our local girl Demery Blue won the tournament. So that was nice. The team finished third. We had 70 high school girls show up for that actual tournament, so huge turnout. Staffing levels, looks like they had 4 returning, and last I talked to them, they were interviewing for the senior worker. I'm not sure how that turned out.
Yeah,
Shane, I'm not sure if you know.
I do know. I believe we've hired, haven't we?
Yeah, and I think he's just finalizing through the background check at this point, but he did accept the position.
Okay. There was discussion on boys and girls youth golf programs. Hospice tournaments coming up on the 12th. About it. Unless there was anything else, Dean?
I think you hit the highlights.
Yep.
Okay. Any others? All right, at the workshop, we talked about this. We'd had a presentation in our last meeting on adding some additional solar panels and taking advantage of the fact that by going ahead and moving forward sooner rather than later, we might be able to avoid tariffs on solar panels that probably will be in place soon if they aren't already in place right now. So we're talking about moving forward on that, and that'll be on the next council agenda. And then we, at the very end of the meeting, Shane brought us up to date on the Trail to Mesa Verde, just some basic information on that. Apparently there are 3 places that we could start, one of which would be from Cortez to the fairgrounds. And then we had a very scintillating presentation on suggestions for success in avoiding the risk of liability for municipal officials.
But it actually was pretty scintillating.
It was quite good. I learned stuff, and I've already heard this several times before. So, anyway, is there anything else for the good of the city?
Karen.
Oh.
We'd like to remind everyone that next Friday, the 18th, we're going to have a barbecue in honor of our city manager. We'd like to invite the public to all come.
Yes.
We're going to have hamburgers and cake, so please come by.
Will that be his last day?
His last day, the 22nd.
Right.
Okay?
Right, yeah, so I told staff to watch it. I don't want to see any dunk tanks. I still have 2 days after that, so it's a good strategy to...
Where's the barbecue?
Just in the parking lot.
So come by, and no promises there's not going to be a dunk tank.
I was gonna say it'll be a barbecue and not a roast if we can go there.
The 19th? The 19th.
I think it's the 18th.
Friday the 18th from 11:30 to 1. We'll have burgers available for anybody.
Wait, is the 18th a Thursday?
It's a Friday.
Friday we're doing it from when? 11:30 to 1?
Yes, so come by and just say hello.
On a Friday.
The 18th.
Can you take your lunch break?
No, that's not my lunch break. It's all right.
Well,
sick.
Just tell us. Yeah. You've got important business elsewhere.
I mean, with the internet, kids basically teach themselves, Ty. I think you could just say, Yeah, go to Google for the next 30 minutes and I'll be right back.
Yeah, just don't do anything while I'm gone. Okay.
We get them, but we only...
Everything's good.
Well, if there's nothing else, I adjourn this meeting.
You know what?
There's a visitor center right now. Welcome center.
You know, the Parks Committee is talking about different projects that they can small, maybe the other things. So under more than one, that could be very.
They are.
Of course, you can ask when I'm sitting up here.
I want to give it to the city.
Yeah, I'm on city council, right? She was here. Did she forget? I'm like,
I'd say let's finish that.
Okay.
Well, you know, it always takes a little time to kind of...
I'll be doing it.